Introduce you, motherfucker. Introduce you to a nigga who would never hesitate to run a
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Jakey Pod. I'm doing something a little bit different today because I am irresponsible with my items. And honestly, I have recorded 3 manic episodes recently in my car, which I realize right now I basically live in. I realize that's how many clothes and trash are in here. I live in my car. And I'm looking at myself for the first time, which I actually do not like. Because I'm like staring myself in the face while I'm doing this. And I feel like I'm vlogging in public, which usually it feels like I'm like talking on the phone to myself. Maybe I'll turn this backwards or just get used to staring at myself. I don't know. Well, this is kind of an interesting topic too, which is today's Jakey Meditations gonna be Jakey's Pod Meditations on it's gonna be Jakey's Pod Meditations on it's gonna be Jakey's Pod reviews your Instagram comedy clips. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. But that is what I want to talk about today. It's gonna be Jakey's Pod Meditations on content saturation. And the irony of this is that I'm making content right now. I'm sitting talking to myself in my car. But you know, I was just talking. It's Mother's Day. I was just talking to my mother, and we were talking about all types of stuff. But I was kind of giving her a pre-version of this rant, which is, I think, and I used to talk with my old roommate about this as well, which is just like, this is where content is currently. And I'm talking about big streaming platforms right now, mostly like Netflix, Hulu, fucking all that stuff, like movie studios. For 2 years, content ban. No new fucking stuff for 2 fucking years. We need a reset. Just enough. There's too much right now. Also, everything's a remake of a remake, and it's just like, why are we even doing this? There's more stuff that exists right now than you could ever go back and watch. I was just saying that about, like, if you had to watch a new movie that you haven't seen once a week, you could go back and you could go retroactively and watch old movies and never find a new one each week. There's that much stuff that already exists. Same thing with shows. And you know that they're coming out with fucking 45 new movies, 45 new shows per streaming show. Content ban, done with it. Let's stop. Just for 2 years. Just take a little reset. Just pause for 2 years. And like I said, I do understand that the irony of this is that I don't want to stop making stuff. I like making stuff. You know what I mean? I make I like but that brings me to like the core point of this, which is I think I've been saying this to people. I think we need to institute a holiday, an Instagram holiday, and we'll call it don't post your comedy clips today day. That's the holiday. And you just don't have to that day. You know what I mean? I feel like there's just too many, man. There's just too many. Every day I look at Instagram, I see 6 new clips, 7 new clips. Everyone's grinding. We're all grinding at our comedy. And I don't think it's good. This only works for a very select few people. You know what I mean? There's a rhythm to. I feel like everyone's like feels like they need to be on their content grind to be a modern comedian. You also just let that shit cook for a little while. You don't need to post every single fucking little chuckle that you get at every open mic. It's insane. It's insane. The content saturation. We just don't need it. And I'm not talking about you. I'm not. If you think I'm talking about you, you're not. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking in generalization. I'm not talking about you. And you, it's all good. That's what I'm saying. Because that's what I'm saying. I'm like, still like creating stuff. Like I you don't want to make stuff out of my comedy. You know what I'm not a fan of? This is the problem, guys. This is the problem. And that's why I'm not saying like don't make your art, don't do your creation, but you got to have get off the content grind and really like care about the stuff you're creating, you know? Maybe a less is more, or like a quality over quantity. Like, but the view chasing, the fucking viral chasing, I get it. But I think these are negative impulses. I just had this other thought. Hold on, wait, give me one sec. I think about this all the time because, how do I describe it? I use social media. I always come back to these same few topics, right? But now my horrible hairline is involved. I look like fucking, I got like Bieber hair, dude. I don't like the video element. You don't gotta post the comedy clips as much. It's about creative integrity. It's about creative integrity. And you know, I'll name drop somebody. I was having this argument with Jay Simpson because he wanted to post a clip from the special. Right? He wanted to post a clip from the special, one of the angles from the special. And I'm like, dog, you're chasing like a fucking... First of all, the people who have viral clips, do you know why they're viral? I'll tell you. It's because they're making them viral. What stands out the most about a viral clip? That's a great van. Wow, that's cool. Wow, that's cool. I want to live in that van. What strikes you the most about a viral clip? It looks like a viral clip. They all look the same. You gotta make it look like that. It's gotta, like, people are trying all types of stuff, but I'm like, you know, there's this one fucking thing that we're, also, I'll say this too. I feel like, the fucking algorithm really does not favor that type of creativity right now. It wants you to make stuff they're like, make the stuff that's meant to be viral. The stuff that like low level art, it's just fucking kicking to the bottom. 30 likes, 20 likes. I'm like, what the fuck? But also I'm like, it's not even showing it to me. I see people working on stuff after. I'm like, oh, it didn't even kick that up to my, I have, you know, dudes who do painting and art and shit. I'm like, it's literally not even showing me. I was thinking that because I looked at Josh Marty's Instagram and I was like, oh my God, this dude does photography all the time. I've literally never seen it because it doesn't fucking go in that, I don't know, I've never seen it. Isn't that crazy? But it shows me his comedy stuff. But then it just like sweeps the art away. It sweeps the art away. Are we not artists? No. Creating stuff, you know, we do create stuff. The stuff a comedian creates, though, is like a very in the moment. But you know, people create all types of stuff. And then I look at my other friends, like the Cheese Parade guys. You know, those guys have been grinding, just making, and it's worked out for them tremendously. But their stuff has a professional edge, and also, yeah, like I was saying, I don't know. Do you stand by? This is not going to get really. Do you guys stand by the clips that you post? I've posted clips before. I don't know, man. No new movies, no comedy clips. How about like no comedy clips on Mondays? Can we try that? Man, I feel like this is taking like a kind of a hater twist. Right. If everybody took 2 years off of making content, this is another thing. So yeah, I argued with Jay Simpson. He wanted to post a clip from the special, and that was a great argument of art versus small right now. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get like 50, 60 likes if you post this right now, or you could save it and we could create something with it that's more substantial, you know? It's art versus content. What is art versus content? Right, like if everybody took 2 years off, I would still want to use that time to make stuff, but I would want to make like stuff that I want to make. I got to make something that I wanted to make recently, and that was that friendly wrap-up video, which I know you saw. I know you saw it. I know. That shit has been in my head for fucking months. And I don't know if you guys understand how that shit works for me. The shit that I make is often already lives in my head. And I can see it and imagine it perfectly. And then the people go, oh, the ADD, the blah, blah, blah. Like a guy like Jad. Jad sits down. He writes every fucking day. He fucking writes every day. I know when I have to take a creative poop. All right? Keep the antenna up. Got to keep the antenna up. You know, sometimes you got to take a creative poop. And like, I'll just build up this idea fucking 4 months and then just like, it's right now. I'm going to do it right now. And then create and using, the items instead of a lot of preparation, just using the items at hand and just making stuff. But that one was for nobody but me. Actually, well, it was kind of for everybody, but it was for it. I was like, was this gonna get fucking 3,000 views? It's gonna get a couple likes. It's just gonna be for my friends. That's the only people I want to like this stuff anyway. And also to inject a little bit of I've been looking at these fucking comedy clips and they're so bad. I posted a bad comedy clip once or twice in my life. But, man, like the fucking, injecting a little bit of sincerity into this fucking vapid crowd work fest. Do I have work soon? What time? Nah, I got 7 more minutes. I got 7 more minutes to wrap up this 20-minute podcast. Here's the thing too about the what was I just gonna talk about? Sorry, I forgot. Chili. Okay, no, I'm gonna get copyright stricken now. Oh, they're having an issue over there. So I was gonna wrap up this 20-minute podcast. The difference between, I'm a podcast fan. I look at podcasts that are successful. Podcasts have to cook for a while. Podcasts are that background content. Podcasts are that background noise stuff. It's for people who do jobs where they're just alone with their thoughts and they like to fill it with fun conversation or thoughtful whatever. You could find any podcast that's some sort of, rambling about whatever you want to hear rambled about. But they got to cook for a while. Because as a podcast fan, I've never clicked on a podcast, like a new podcast. I've clicked on podcasts that you have 200 episodes, and they're meant to fucking, and when you get into a podcast, you fucking run that shit back fast. I used to work in that world where, headphones in, I would listen to 9 hours of podcast a day. Yeah, do you hear that? Not bragging. I can't tell with these solo pods. They're either the ramblings of an insane person or they're all right. They're all right. This one might be a little too spicy, too smoky. But I didn't talk about anybody by name negatively. I brought up just people who I would tell, I guess. You know. I shouldn't have this be just my face though. Maybe I'll put some nice stuff like my cat. Ooh. And then man, the senior itself has got this whole other horrible angle to this. I just realized I told my girlfriend I would get her coffee from Herman's, and I forgot to. I only got myself one. That's rude. So I gotta drink it in the car. Oh, my teeth are yellow in this light. Oh my god. It's the coffee and the cigarettes and the cheese, the yellow cheese. I gotta drink the coffee in the car, and you can find out about this. You know, it's kind of funny that somebody's listening to the podcast, but the real people who listen to it are the women in my life, being Maria, my mother, and Maria's mother. Yeah, the fucking my mom said the audio on the Maria episode was really bad. I honestly have a feeling that the car episode's gonna have the best audio of all of them for some reason. It's gonna sound like a phone, but you know, phones sound okay, you know. Yeah, the audio on that one was bad. My shirt was bouncing around. I think we need to run it back on the Maria episode. I think we need to run it back. That was kind of a walk around the park episode. We need to sit down. I need a studio and equipment. I need to but I like the on-the-go-ness of the pod. But I do kind of need maybe a better setup. Maybe I'll get paid a bunch of money soon, and I'll buy stuff with it. That could be a thing I do. I've been working a lot. I've been working nonstop. Dude. I've been working so much, dude. Working so much, listening to good music. You know, I found out about a band last night that I liked, and I almost never like bands. It's called fucking Unity TX, dude. They were a fucking, like a rock band, like a cool black guy rock band, and they fucking ripped, and it was very, like, hip-hop inspired, a lot of rapping, a lot of heavy tunes, dude. It's that type of shit I like. It reminded me of Rage Against the Machine. I was listening to them set up, I was like, what the hell, this is good shit. That is some good shit. I was gonna say, I wonder if their music is copyright stricken yet. I don't know how that shit works, but I'm gonna put their music in this episode. Guys, I gotta go to work. I gotta go to work in 1 minute. This has been Jakey's Pod. Have a good one.
Let me introduce you, motherfucker. Introduce you to a nigga who would never hesitate to run up.